He's gonna be buying me more than flowers. No. I will never. Sorry. That's a good thing. Don't have one and I love it.
It's probably because you choose.
Okay. I just don't care. I don't know. Might just end up alone. I will, because nobody can take my sense of humor. Dude, no way. I would never jump to that side of the table. Wow. Wow. Accounting. I don't really know what I was thinking. I wasn't. Mary, we haven't even started BAM, and I already hate intermediate. It's gonna be a long semester. Okay, good. Oh, really? Yeah, because you guys said it's like hard to get the right thing, right? Oh, gee. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Hello, Crusaders fans, and welcome to another presentation of Capital Women's Soccer here at Capital Athletics at capital.edu. Jimmy Bloomfield back with you for another fun season of soccer here. And Capital's had some success recently, winning their last 2 games for an overall 2-1 record and a real measuring stick game today against a nationally ranked opponent, ranked in the top 10, in fact, in the Thomas More Saints. Thomas More coming in at 1-0-1. Before we jump into our preview of today's matchup, let's first get you caught up on the world of Capital Athletics. Let's start with the football team that suffered their first loss of the season last weekend, playing number 17 Wittenberg. Trailed as much as 35-6 in the third quarter, but really rallied back ended up losing by a final of 38-27. Brent Walton, 21 carries, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns, added 20 more receiving for a total of 150 and 3 touchdowns. So Walton starting off the season hot again. He had a huge season last year, over 1,000 yards rushing. For the Crusaders, Corey Heater added a touchdown on the ground on 9 carries and 63 yards. Zach Sheridan, 3 for 5 for 55 yards. Also had a 51-yard run and a 41-yard pass to Zach Wyrick. The team had 349 yards rushing and no turnovers, so a successful first game. The result didn't come, but they've been playing better football already this season and a lot to look forward to. They have a bye week this week before traveling to Wilmington next weekend. Congratulations to Coach Leah Farrell, who earned her first win this weekend in women's volleyball. That was against Berea. The team is 1-3, faces off with Denison tonight at the Cap Center at 7 p.m. And we'll have live stats for that one as well on athletics.capital.edu. A big congratulations as well to senior Daniel Schaefer of the men's golf team. He shot a 143 in 36 holes Tuesday at the ODU Kickoff Classic. And that was good for 1 under par. Schaefer actually tied the school record for one single round with a 69 on the second pass through the course, tying James Coon's low round score in 2007, and then he set the best 2-round score, beating the record set by Dan Zaborski in 2007. So congratulations to Daniel Schaefer. Next for Capital, they will play in the Capital Fall Classic at Royal American Links, a tournament they will be hosting. That'll be in Galena, Ohio. And the first women's tennis meet today was scheduled for 3:30 p.m. against Earlham. We're going to have to see if the weather cooperates with that one. But the women's tennis team should be starting up soon, and we'll have some updates for them as well as the season goes along. Let's next go to our interview with Coach Matt Ogden. Coach has led the team to a 2-1 record, and I talked to him a little bit about installing that new style of play that he talked about in our season preview, as well as looking forward to today's matchup with Thomas More. That interview is coming your way right now.
understanding that, the confidence.
Jimmy Bloomfield down here with Coach Matt Ogden. And Coach, you have discussed in your season preview with us that you wanted to install a new system of play that is, to use your words, more visually pleasing to watch. I would assume this includes a more aggressive attack, and you guys tallied 6 goals in 2 games this past weekend. Can you discuss where that transition currently stands?
Yeah, I think it's still, definitely a work in progress. The weekend was good. It was needed for us as far as showing the goals that, if we commit to a certain style, then we can be successful within that style. It takes a lot of trust. Trust that, I know what I'm talking about, but, also trust that when the players are on the field, they're working together, understanding that, they're confident now to play out of tight spaces. It's definitely a work in progress, but we're getting better every day.
You have started Alexis Brandon at each of the first 3 games over the returning goalkeeper from last year, Kim Leach. You mentioned that you got to work a little bit more with Alexis this summer, which has appeared to give her a little bit of an upper hand. Where would you say that competition currently lies, and who do you expect to be in there today?
We are starting Alexis again today in goals. The competition is there every day. We've got 3 goalkeepers. Hannah is the freshman goalkeeper as well that, I think over the course of the season you'll see some minutes out of. But the competition within the goalkeepers is great. They push each other every day in practice. I just feel that, a little bit more size. Thomas Moore's got some pretty tall target players. Alexis is, slightly taller, a little bit better in the air. So, as far as that aspect, I think she kind of got the nod today.
You served as a member of Alan Yost's coaching staff on the men's side last year. Can you talk a little bit about the adjustment to the women's game, and as well as you have had to work on being the new guy, that is, the team has kind of played together and their chemistry is carried over, and you're kind of the new guy into the group?
Yeah, my background is within women's soccer, so this is nothing that's new to me. It was more of the helping out Alan the last 2 years as opposed to my other position with Ohio Premier and the ECNL soccer. So, coaching females is very easy for me, I guess. But the transition for me being part of that group, I think, has gone down well. They've embraced everything that I'm asking them to do. They do it with a smile on their face. They seem to like what I'm asking them to do. So that's always been easier.
Today's the first meeting between Cap and Thomas More since the Crusaders knocked the Saints out of the NCAAs in 2013. Have the players been talking a little bit more about this game in practice, being that it is now against the top 10 team?
No, I think, they recognize that there is a little bit of history between them, but, 2 years is 2 years. A lot of things have changed within those 2 years. I think they recognize the fact as well that they felt, rather disgruntled the way that game played out. Maggie had a fantastic goalkeeper, had a fantastic game for Capital that day. So I think he's probably got more of a grudge against us than, I do against them. So, it's always great when we can bring in nationally ranked teams to Capital and play against them. It's great that we can do it early on in our season. Kind of gives us a benchmark of where we are, but I think we're in a good place. I think I'm confident today we'll be able to put in a good performance.
You just mentioned that it's been a couple years. You guys have now installed that different style. Thomas More hasn't really seen that out of you guys. Would you say that's an advantage?
I think we're going to take a lot of teams by surprise, just doing different things. I think that they got pre-notion of what Capital is and how they play, and I think I've come in and kind of broken down a few of those walls, and we've had compliments on all our opponents so far of how we've done and how we look at the moment. So it's will we take them by surprise? Probably not. They're a good team. They've probably done their research. They probably watched game film on us. But I think it'll be a nice change for them. Playing against a group that wants to play.
Keys to winning today, Coach, and as well as the weather having an impact on today's game.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on the weather. It seems like we've been affected already a couple of times so far this season. We'll just take that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get bothered by that. But for me, we talk about paying attention to details. When you're playing big games, it's often decided on moments. When that moment comes, can we put the ball in the back of the net? I think we were very wasteful on Sunday. The score could really have been a cricket score, but we failed to put our ball in the back of the net, so it was closer than it probably really should have been. But also can we limit mistakes? With me asking them to play a little bit more ball possession out of the back, we have kind of caused our own problems in the game so far. So, attention to detail. Can we limit our mistakes, and really can we capitalize on our opportunities?
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck today.
My pleasure.
And our thanks again to Coach Ogden for that pregame interview. Pretty hilarious comment about the cricket there. He said after the interview that he hoped people would know what that is. I wish I could explain it to you, but I really am not that familiar with cricket myself, so we'll just take that one in stride. 2-1 Crusaders hosting Thomas More at 1-0-1. Big rematch of the 2013 NCAA game in which Capital defeated Thomas More, knocking them out and ending their season. Let's get to today's starting lineup. First for the Crusaders, in goal will be number 0, Alexis Brand, Caroline Hester, Claire Quinn, Chloe Brown, Becca Cartmill, Maura Fortino, Allison Mirvo, Monique Hanaik, Mary Bushy, Morgan Austin, and Mariah Richards round up the starters for Capital. For Thomas More, it'll be Megan Barton in net. She'll be joined on the field by Olivia Huber, Taylor Robinson, Samantha Goodwin, Julia Flagg Eccles, Abby Osborne, Kate Owens, Corey Ziegler, Abby Statmiller, Laura Felix, and Erica LaRosa. Some of the key standouts for Capital, a team that lost just one senior in Jesse Sermel last season. It's a very good loaded team once again. Becca Cartmill is the girl to watch. She has 1 goal this season. The team's leading scorer is actually Mary Bushy, who really came on and became really effective at the end of last season, almost moving into a midfielder role, staying in that outer back, where Coach Ogden has been looking for some more production out of those players in terms of goal scoring, and Mary Bushy's really stepped up to the challenge there. Some other key players: Mariah Richards, a captain, leading the team defensively in the center, and a couple other seniors in the picture there. Mara Fortino, to name one of them, and Allison Mirvo, another one in the midfield. 2 seniors there that really make an impact for this Capital team. In net today is Alexis Brand. Brand started all 3 games this season, played 1/2 of one of them. Has allowed 2 goals this season, 16 saves, a 2-1 record. She has an 88% win percentage, 88% save percentage, as well as a goals against average of just .8. Kim Leach filled in for just a half. The senior has 2 saves this season in 45 minutes of play. And that's been an interesting battle, both the men's and women's side again. The same characters from last season in that goalie battle. Alexis Brand has gotten the leg up this year. For Thomas More now, a couple of key players to check out for them. In terms of their leading goal scorer, they have just 2 goals this season. One is Laura Felix, and one is Julia Flagg Eccles. Eccles also has an assist on the other goal this season. Again, they tied against Case Western Reserve after beating Wittenberg 2-0 for a 1-0-1 record. A team that is very, very good. Ranked 8th in the country. They were 23-2 last year. They made the NCAA tournament each of the last 4 years and probably beyond that, but their website did not go back that far, so was not able to track down the exact amount of times, but they have at least made it the last 4 years. Capitals finishing up getting their their lineup announced. We will pause for our national anthem. Teams will shake hands, and we're just about ready to go. Capital will be wearing their home whites, defending the left net from our perspective here, moving from left to right. Alexis Brand there in the neon jersey. Thomas More will have blue jerseys, blue shorts, blue socks, and their goalkeeper wearing all orange. That again is Megan Barton, a junior, 5 saves this season. Pretty good crowd here today, as well as some people making the trip from Thomas More. Thomas More is located in Crestview Hills, Kentucky. Just south of I-275. The commute to Capital is about 2 hours away. Located just 15 miles south of Cincinnati. So not that bad of a drive for some parents or fans of the team that wanted to make the trip here to Capital today. Located just outside of Columbus here in Bexley, Ohio. It's an overcast day today. Might have some problem with some rain later this game, and we're hoping that that is not the case. A programming note that the men's game that was scheduled to go on after this one has been pushed back a night and will now be on Thursday night at 7 p.m. You can catch that game on athletics.capital.edu tomorrow. Capital starts with it first, and Chloe Brown kicks it back to Morgan Austin on the outside, and they'll play it through their defense. Caroline Hester playing in the middle of that defense right now, a spot that was usually occupied by Caitlin Simmelsberger last season. And with the new coach, there's been a little bit of a different formation to this point for Capital, the most noticeable of which is Brand playing in net. That one's off of Chloe Brown. Thomas More keeps possession. Aggressive defense there by Brown, and she's called for the foul. Free kick coming for Abby Osborne, taking it for the Saints. Sends it towards the net. Looking for a header, and Brand is going to make the save on that header from Olivia Huber. Errant pass there by Quinn, taken away by Kate Owens. Shot that got knocked down by Flag Eccles, taking the shot there. Got knocked down by a Capital player. Morgan Austin clears it upfield. Stays in bounds for a little bit, and then we'll find the sideline. Fortino comes up with the loose ball, tries to send it to Cartmill on a through ball. That is going to be secured by Thomas Moore, and then dribbled out of bounds by Corey Ziegler. So originally a nice play, but then a little too careless with the ball. Brand plays it up to Chloe Brown. Good defense there from Thomas Moore. Get in front of that pass to Fortino. Brown continues to be aggressive, but it didn't work that time. Erica LaRosa comes away with it over to Flag Eccles now. Into the box. Lost one towards the goal, and it goes over the goal. No room there for Cartmill on the near sideline, taken away by Thomas Moore. And Mary Bushy steps in now. Plays it up to Brown. Gets a touch on it. Cartmill comes away with it. Kicks it upfield, and Thomas Moore will blast it into the Capital zone where Hester will collect it. Dangerous pass picked off by Thomas Moore. Bushy clears it out of the box, but Thomas Moore keeping the pressure on. Richards gets rid of it now. 5 minutes played, no score still. 0-0 in this one. Pass by Cartmill a little wide, and Thomas Moore will take over. Owens bounces one into Brand, and Brand takes control of it, looking for some options and punts it upfield. Cartmill making a play on that loose ball. Quinn to Mirvo now. Kick sent in by Owens goes wide. Kick towards Bushy, and it's going to go out of bounds in Capital's possession. Richards plays it back to Brand, who kicks it up the right sideline. Austin controls it. Kicks it out of bounds. Capital takes possession over now. Capital keeps possession now. Capital yet to record a shot in this game. There's only one shot total. It was by Thomas Moore. Back at the 3:14 mark. This is flag. Eccles with it now, sends it into the box, and Austin comes over. Kicks it up the field. Richards marking her. Fortino sends it up the field a little bit more. This is Taylor Robinson. Pass into the box. Austin headers it away. Robinson collects it, sends it towards the box again. Hester and Richards put a touch on it. And now Austin knocks down a shot that Brand collects. Capital still in possession of it just outside the box for Tino. Trying to get under that header. Claire Quinn sends it into the box. It's cleared away. Shot goes just wide there by Thomas Moore. Brand will have another goal kick.
Welcome out to Bernlohr Stadium. Ryan Gasser on hand here, kind of tag teaming it with Jimmy Bloomfield, who is kind of fallen ill, and we wish him the best and a speedy recovery. It's that time of the season, I suppose, where the sicknesses are coming around. The flu bug is starting to breed itself around as the weather changes sporadically. And speaking of weather, as you noticed, that the skies are a little dark out here at Bernlohr Stadium. The forecast has been calling for storms for the better part of the day. We thought we'd already be seeing them, and that's why we moved up this game to 4 o'clock today. However, the storms have kind of been fighting themselves and kind of going off to the north. They've been missing us so far, and we're hoping that that pattern stays consistent and we can get some football in here as we are approaching the 30-minute mark here left on the clock. Capital and Thomas More College all knotted up at 0. As we see Capital kind of advancing and ball being intercepted down on the far sideline, we're going to do a makeshift broadcast here as I wasn't exactly planning on being on the air today, but hey, you know what? That's kind of the SID role. You kind of just take the punches as they come. You never know what is to be expected. That's kind of the joy of the job, where every day is a little bit different and you walk a different path every different day. So this one played up to Claire Quinn. Quinn pushes it upfield, but intercepted by Thomas Moore. Physical play down along the 45-yard line. In on that is Laura Felix. She tosses it up the field to Abby Stadtmiller. Miller in the corner, being broke up there by, that is Caroline Hester on defense. Tosses it out, and now we'll have a goal kick. Alexis Brand in net, receiving her fourth start of the season. She's played in all 3 previous games, earning the start in each of those. Last time out, Kim Leach came in and mopped up the second half, as that one is out off of number 16, Abby Stadtmiller, on the near sideline. Tossed in this time by Morgan Austin. Scrum for the ball finally comes out to Thomas Moore, played up by Laura Felix. Felix to the far side. Kate Owens plays it forward, tries to cross this in, intercepted by Hester. She heads it up the field, but Thomas Moore going to regain control of this one. Felix once again, tossing this to the far side. Julia Eccles plays it forward. Up the middle, the defense coming forward. Mariah Richards heads it out. Here comes Eccles. Eccles' shot, not a clean one. Mariah Richards intercepts and now plays it forward. Almost a great scoring opportunity there by Julia Eccles. Just couldn't get a strong boot on it as that one was played forward all the way to the opposing goalkeeper, Megan Barton. Barton picks it up, boots it forward. Up toward midfield. Played forward by Chloe Brown. Now down along the far end line. Nice job by Mary Bushy to keep this one alive. Back down to the back line. Hester plays it across to Morgan Austin, now to Brand. Capital coming in 2-1 overall on the season, have strung together 2 consecutive wins, defeating the University of Pitt Bradford by a 3-0 count here on Sunday afternoon. 27 minutes remaining here in the first half. We're still scoreless. You are watching a presentation of Capital University Women's Soccer, courtesy of Capital University Athletics. We encourage you, if you are watching the free SD stream, to upgrade to the high-definition broadcast. It only costs you $5, and you can do so by paying online, and that'll upgrade you for today's game. Kind of a new feature that the athletic department has brought out. Brings out the scoreboard as well, and hopefully we'll be seeing more upgrades over the course of the year as a big video broadcasting project is underway, and we're awaiting our new toys and equipment to come in as Thomas More now reacquiring possession. Here comes Eccles. She'll play it up the right side, dribbles in, plays it forward. Now here's Huber. Huber gets a shot off, but it flies wide of the Capital cage. Alexis Brand back in for the goal kick. Coach Ogden's defense and really his overall strategy has been a very aggressive look for this Capital team. He loves pushing his defenders up and using more of an attack. The concept of your best defense is your offense is another shot put on by Olivia Huber for Thomas More. This time going wide right of the Capital cage. Want to remind everybody that Capital Athletics is available on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and now Periscope. All 3, you can find us at the handle @CapCrusaders. So Twitter, Periscope, Instagram. If you don't have any or all 3 of those, hit up the Google Play Store or the iOS Apple Store, download them all. Follow us and like us on Facebook as well, Capital University Athletics. So Thomas More going to play this one in. Kate Owens with the throw-in to Eccles on the far sideline. Owens plays it forward. Hester now boots it up to Brand. She plays it off the foot, and this one off of the defender, Olivia Huber. Brand tried to play it forward. Huber was right there, and off her knee and into the net it goes. Thomas More with the early 1-0 lead. A costly error by both Caroline Hester, who played it backward to Brand with Huber bearing down on her. Brand obviously had to play it off of the foot, and she had nowhere to go with it. Tried to play it forward, clear it out, and it went right into Olivia Huber. And the ricochet goes right to the back of the net, and the nationally ranked Saints, they have an early advantage over the Crusaders. 1-0 here as we dip below 25 minutes remaining here in the first half. We've seen that a couple times over the course of the season already, that Alexis Brand tries to wait until the last possible minute and try to juke out the defender and make the wisest decision possible. But that one, a very costly error as she waited perhaps a split second too long. So Capital will find themselves in a 1-goal disadvantage early. Dipping below 24 minutes now here in the first half. Richards plays it forward, intercepted by number 7, Abby Osborne. She plays it forward. Here's Huber and Eccles again. Eccles shot on and just wide of the cage. Brand gave it a dive, but Eccles, deceptively speedy. She turned on the jets incredibly quickly. And so we'll have a substitution here for Thomas More. Coming off of the pitch is number 11, Kate Owens. And we'll get you the substitution here in just a moment. But the Saints making an early move. Got a full slate of Capital Athletics. Some of them have already been postponed. The men's game today was originally scheduled for 7 p.m., but because of the storms that are on their way into the Columbus area, that game has actually already been postponed and will be played tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here at Burnmore Stadium. The Saint that came in was Nicole Brown, a junior from Cincinnati. Thomas More on the advantage already with a 1-0 lead. Playing it forward into the corner to Statmiller. Statmiller puts it into the box, but booted out. Looked like that was Claire Quinn. Now Hester plays it forward to Brown. Brown tosses this one. She was looking for Becca Cartmill, but this one flies past the end line, and now we'll give it back to Thomas More. Another interception and another toss out by Chloe Brown, again looking for Becca Cartmill. Tossing it in is Corey Ziegler. And coming down with it, some very aggressive play between Laura Felix and Mara Fortino. Thomas More plays it back and then launches it forward. Eccles heads it forward to Huber. Huber turns, reads the defense. She'll make a move, goes middle. Pass is deflected by Claire Quinn. Now here comes Mary Bushy. She's going to sprint up the sideline. Tries to play it forward, but this one will be brought back in by Samantha Goodwin on the far side. Mariah Richards, the senior captain, heads it forward. Now to Austin. Austin looking upfield with it. Here comes Chloe Brown, and now Capital trying to mount one of their first big offensive pushes, and Brown's pass far out of the reach of a couple of her Capital teammates. Intended target there, I believe, with Allison Mervaux. 20:55 left on the clock here in the first half. 1-0, Thomas More leading. Middle of the field, Fortino regains possession. She'll try to mount the first offensive move as she boots this one forward. Not really a great shot attempt. Tried to find, I believe, down there. I believe she was looking for Monique Kneik. So taking the boot is Abby Osborne. She plays it to the middle of the field. And a nice move there by Claire Quinn right behind the back. Moves it forward, but intercepted. Intercepted by Taylor Robinson. She'll try to play it forward. And regained possession by Caroline Hester. She was looking for Becca Cartmill, but a little too much on it there. We're below 20 minutes here in the first half. They throw 45 up on the clock to get us started. We'll take that down to halftime. Statmiller plays it forward. Eccles off the chest, turns, and is bodied up by Claire Quinn. Brown up the field to Mara Fortino. And a foul call this time, a little bit too much body. Fortino up with it. She's ready to go. Off to the far side. Mary Bushy. She plays it forward. Hanaik can't get a good foot on it. This one bounced out of bounds, and I believe they're going to call it off of Thomas More. Capital with the throw-in. Bushy puts a boot on it, tries to find the middle of the field. Intercepted by Ziegler. She tries to clear it. Lucky bounce there, but the boot by Bushy flies through the uprights. Good for 3 if you're playing the other kind of football, but a change of possession here. Capital looking for its 3rd consecutive win. They dropped their season opener on the road at Olivet by a count of 1-0. Coach Ogden said the day after that they just kind of came out flat, and it was kind of first game jitters for some. Others, not sure what the excuse was. Played forward, and a shot on by Olivia Huber, a diving stop by Alexis Brand. Found the seam in the defense. It was Eccles to Huber, and with a little bit more on it, that might have beat Brand for the 2nd goal of the game, but Brand with a nice diving stop to her right. Played forward by Capital, and now dispossessed, and now Thomas More back on the attack. They have had possession for a majority of the opening 25 minutes here. Hester back to Brand. That's what got him in trouble the first time. The goal scored by Olivia Huber was on a failed clear attempt by Brand. It was played backward by Caroline Hester. Brand tried to clear it, but it went right into the leg of Olivia Huber, and she put it into the goal. She really didn't do too much to do so. It was more of an unlucky ricochet as Brand tried to clear it. Dipping below 17 minutes now here in the first half. We're hoping to get at least 72 minutes in. That is what it takes to become an official contest. The radar didn't look so generous as it predicted what's to come here in the 5 o'clock hour. Moving forward is Becca Cartmill to Fortino. She's bodied up. On the defense was Nicole Brown, who came in as a substitute about 8 or 9 minutes ago. And a substitution looming for Capital on the sideline there is number 25, Kathy Connor, a junior from Mason, Ohio. Connor scored her first goal over the weekend. Has had limited time in her first 2 years here at Capital, but has seen an increase in playing time this year. Eccles to Huber again, this time from the left corner, a weak left-handed or left-footed shot rather. And Brand easily scoops this one up. She'll play it forward all the way to midfield. Thomas More reacquires possession. Up until that point were Mara Fortino. She is a quick little devil right there. Anytime that you lose track of her, she magically appears, and before you know it, you've been dispossessed. Usually she's the culprit to both kind of throw a charge into the offense as well as create a turnover on defense. And there's a shot from about 30 yards out. That one taken by Statmiller. An easy catch by Brand on the save. Despite the goal, that will be Brand's 3rd save of the afternoon. We dip below 15 minutes now. Thomas More still on top, 1-0. This one played forward and now headed back to the Thomas More goalkeeper, Osborne to Barton. Barton now, she hasn't had a lot of excitement back there between the posts. Only the 2nd time she's really touched the ball here in the early goings. As we see now substitutions coming. Connor for the Crusaders coming in for Allison Mervaux. And exiting the pitch for Thomas More is Abby Stadmiller in favor of Jordan Wiest, a freshman from Westchester, Ohio. Connor plays it back to Morgan Austin. Austin back to Connor. Connor back to Austin again. They're trying to get something going in that right corner. Chloe Brown plays it forward, and Barton comes out of her position to intercept the cross. That was intended, I believe, for Becca Cartmill. Cartmill early on has had a quiet start to the season after ending it in 2014 with a whole bunch of accolades. All conference, all Ohio, all region, some academic honors as well. She was the do-it-all as a sophomore for Capital a season ago. Looking to get her season jump-started here in match number 4 of the 2015 campaign. Under 13 here in the first half. Thomas More still up 1-0. It's been the Saints having the advantage for a majority of this first half. The early observation from the press box here has been that Thomas More, well, they're nationally ranked for a reason by the NSCAA. They haven't released the first 2015 poll, but according to their last one from the 2014 season, they were in the top 10, I believe, number 9 in the country. They have a really nice combination of speed and size here, especially in the midfield. And now here's the two forwards, Huber and Eccles. They've been doing a nice job on the Capital defense all day long, as Huber now bodied up by Caroline Hester. She takes it back away and now passes it up to Connor. So that offensive attack thwarted by the combination of Mariah Richards and Caroline Hester down on the far corner. Tell you, that duo of Eccles and Huber, pretty dangerous there. Eccles, a sophomore from Coleraine, Ohio, and Huber, a senior out of Woodlawn, Kentucky. Thomas More, a school that is located inside of the Bluegrass State, pretty much just over the river, down along Cincinnati, not too far over the state line. The throw in by Bushy, and tell you what, as soon as a Crusader gets a boot on the ball, it's a swarm of Saints around them, and the possession doesn't last all that long. Would not be surprised as Fortino takes a dive. They're going to call a foul on the Saints. Been waiting for that call for a majority of the contest, as they've been bodying up pretty good, and they've been letting the majority of the contact go here in the first 35 minutes of this game. We've only had a couple of foul calls on either side. As Bushy lines up, that's Quinn with the free kick, and just out of the reach of Caroline Hester. She was trying to go up to head it on the near side post. Couldn't quite get there. Substitutions coming in for Thomas More. Number 15, Josie Perino, and number 20, Lauren Rose will check in, giving a huff to Eccles and Samantha Goodwin. So getting a pair of fresh legs on each side of the field for the Saints. It will now be Huber and Perino up on the attack, and there's Perino trying to penetrate 3 different Crusader defenders there. And on the back line, or in the midfield, Lauren Rose, but she came in Perino came in to kind of bolster up the midfield and back line for the Saints. Felix, who is one of those sizable midfielders, puts a good boot on it, goes in the top right-hand corner, and gets it just under the post. Out of the reach of Alexis Brand, and that puts the Saints up 2-0. It was kind of a quick turnaround and shoot. Not even 100% convinced that that wasn't an attempt to set up a teammate on the far post, but as it was falling, it became a dangerous shot. Brand went up for it, and it fell just under the post into the back of the net, and now Thomas More up 2-0 with 9:04 remaining here in the first half. No, usually we don't, but this time I'm helping Augie out, so that's on me.
I should have just played it off. The game started.
Capital trying to get back into this thing as Morgan Austin tried to go into the far corner, send one in. The offensive opportunities have not been in Capital's favor. It's been all Thomas More on the offensive end. They try to play it forward again, and it squibs through the defense weakly all the way into the midst of Barton. They're going to try to play it forward here, but again, Thomas More, the great combination of size and speed. Their forwards incredibly quick. Once played forward, they've had a couple of steps on the back line of Capital for the majority of the time, and if anything, Laura Felix right there showed you that she can do it in space from a distance as well. That boot was well beyond the 18-yard box, and here's an opportunity. Chloe Brown gets a left hand on it. And that one's saved. However, I believe they're going to actually call her offsides before the shot was actually taken. So she got a little bit too quick with it on the turn up field. A nice turn and a good shot attempt by Chloe. That's actually the first time Capital has really put a shot on goal there, but it will get negated because of the offsides call. And here come the Saints once again. Perino, she's playing it forward. Now we'll toss it off to Huber, who has a goal already this afternoon. Cartmill playing it back to Connor. Connor's pass back a little too strong and out of the reach of Cartmill. Osborne goes back, gets it, tosses it upfield. Not only does Thomas More have size as far as girth and strength, but they also have it vertically as well. They've won a majority of the 50-50 balls that have been put up into the air today. Now down along the far side, here comes Bushy. Once again intercepted by the Saints, played forward up to Perino. Under 6 minutes left here in the first half. Thomas More up 2-0. Here comes Huber. Looking for some help. Down into the corner. She's found Perino. Perino shot, and Brand makes a dive to her right, intercepting it before it could get back to Huber. Brand, a majority of her time last year was in non-conference play. And then eventually, Kim Leach emerged as the starter, and Leach did a very fine job as well, an all-conference and an all-Ohio selection. But Brand did a serviceable job in 2014 as well. We'll get her numbers from a year ago up in just a second. The Saints, there's Huber again from Perino. Perino lobbed it up, found Huber pretty much uncontested. The middle of the box, she put a head on it to Brand's right, and that's a 3-0 advantage now that the Saints have over the Crusaders. More substitutions coming in for the Saints. Coming back is Caitlin Armentrout and Allie Frank. Perino to Huber, and Huber has her second goal of the afternoon. A huge advantage as we dip under 5 minutes here remaining in the first half. Coach Ogden will have to rally the troops here as the defense has been suspect to say the least, especially up the middle. In that middle back role, it looks like Mariah Richards has kind of found herself into that role. Last year she was playing more on the wings and flexed between defense and midfield. She was definitely one of those players that had a strong enough leg that she can come up from the back line and be an offensive stalwart as well. But this year she's kind of flexing on that left-hand side. She's also going into the middle back position. It's kind of one of the mix-ups that Coach Ogden has kind of orchestrated coming into this season. Connor played up, intercepted by Osborne. Now Austin comes up with it, but she puts it out of play, and we'll give it back to the Saints. 3-0 the score. 3:48 remaining in the first half. Just a reminder, fans, if you're in the area at 7 o'clock, the women's volleyball team here at Capital University will have its home opening match. They will be taking on Denison University right up the road in Granville. But they'll be coming down to play it here at the Cap Center. 7 o'clock first service. That one is booted out of bounds. .320 remaining as the call on the pitch was actually, I believe, a foul, as they're going to take a free kick from about the 25-yard line here at Burnmore Stadium. The volleyball team we can see in the stands there, they're actually kind of taking some downtime to cheer on their Crusader classmates. The volleyball team thus far 1-3 on the season. First-year head coach Leah Farrell earned her first victory against Berea College over the weekend at the Otterbein tournament. As some jostling there between Morgan Austin and Jordan Wiest. Wiest got called for the foul there. Claire Quinn up with it, puts it a little too much on it there. Was looking for Cartmill. Now Barton picks it up, and with 2:15 remaining, Capital needs to put something on the board before they go into half. Austin plays it across the field to Mary Bushy. Brown finds Hanaik. Hanaik puts a boot on it, goes far side post. Not sure that that would have been on, but Barton comes up with the grab there as we dip below 2 minutes now here in the first half. Kind of want to forewarn everybody here that as we approach the 6 o'clock hour, I may have to vacate the broadcast booth to begin preparing for that volleyball match. So if you lose commentary in the last 15 minutes or so, well, that would be why. You can enjoy the sweet sounds of Burnmore Stadium instead of my fake it till you make it kind of strategy here on the broadcast booth. Can't say that I'm a soccer aficionado by any means, if you haven't been able to tell by the commentary in and of itself. That's why we hire the professionals like Charlie Danis and Jimmy Bloomfield to come in and do sports like soccer and football and things like that. Take some of the stress off of that overworked SID. We're now below a minute. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. 3-0 the score as the Saints are now trying to put number 4 up on the board. Here is Laura Felix, who has one of her own. 30 seconds remaining as she plays it across the field. And with 20 ticks remaining, the Saints, one last chance, played up to Huber, and now here's Perino on the far side. Excuse me, Armentrout. A little tap forward. She was trying to find Huber, but right into the heart of the Capital defense. And that will do it for the first half. And that will do it for the first half. We're 45 minutes through. Thomas More, they have a 3-0 advantage over your Crusaders. We're going to put 10 up on the clock and come back for the second half. You're listening to Capital University Athletic Women's Soccer down 3-0 to the Thomas More Saints. Welcome back out to Bernlohr Stadium. Ryan Gasser on hand, bringing you today's action in relief from the bullpen of Jimmy Bloomfield, who had to leave due to illness. He was battling a flu all day today, tried to muster it out like the warrior that he is, but unfortunately was unable to continue. So they get the SID, give him the call from the bullpen, and bring in the righty. The guy that's been retired from broadcasting for quite a while now to finish up on a sport that he's unfamiliar with, but a team that he is incredibly familiar with. Your Crusaders down 3-0 against Thomas More College out of Kentucky. It's been a rough go of it on that back line for the defense of Capital. Olivia Huber has her second and third goals of the season. The first one she scored in the 21st minute on a blocked clear attempt by Alexis Brand, and the ricochet went right into the back of the net. Then Laura Felix had a turn and shoot opportunity from about the 25-yard line here, probably a good 15, 16 yards from the top of the 18-yard box. Let it launch and found the upper right-hand corner of the cage as we look out onto the playing surface here at Bernlohr Stadium. And then a very nice setup job by Josie Perino from the right hash. Chipped it in to Huber, who put a header to the right-hand side of Alexis Brand, and that accounts for the 3-0 score that you see up on your scoreboard here today. This presentation brought to you by the Capital University Athletic Department and Boxcast. We encourage you to upgrade your free standard definition broadcast to high definition for just the low cost of $5, and that will bring you the high def version of today's broadcast right to your computer screen, your mobile device, or whatever you may be viewing it from today. Some additional statistics. Why don't we go through the visitor box score first? As we said, Olivia Huber, 2 goals already, 6 shots. 3 of those have fallen on frame. Julia Eccles has 4 shots. She's been up front in the attack position. Her and Huber put together a nice little combo through the first 35 minutes of the game before Eccles was taken out, given a break. And other Saints that have shots and shots on goal. Abby Statmiller has 1. It also fell on goal, as did Laura Felix, who accounts for the 3rd goal that we have yet to mention in this little statistical breakdown. Megan Barton between the posts for the Saints. She has faced 1 shot, and that was not on frame. That shot taken by Monique Hanaik. She is the only Crusader that actually has a shot attempt today. The Saints defense has been stout. They have a fantastic combination of size and speed, not just in strength, but also vertically, as we mentioned a couple of times before. The Saints have won a lot of the 50-50 balls up in the air today, and largely are really taking the offensive opportunities right off of the foot of Capital. As soon as Capital acquires possession of it, it seems like it turns right back over to the Saints as they swarm the ball carrier, as Capital has tried on multiple occasions on both sides of the field to penetrate this Saints defense, but it is stout to say the least. We will be seeing a goalkeeping change. Kim Leach will be in the post for Capital Crusaders. Leach in her 2nd game of the season. Leach will see her 2nd game of the season as she will man the post for the Crusaders. She came in for relief of Alexis Brand in that Pitt Bradford game, in which the Crusaders won by a count of 3-0. And so here comes the senior out of Rocky River, Ohio, to reassume position in goal. I do believe that Barton will be back out there for the final 45 for Thomas More. And so we're ready to get going. It looks like the lineup has largely stayed the same for Coach Ogden. He brings back out Becca Cartmill, Monique Kanaik. Looks like Kathy Connor there in the middle with Mary Bushy, Caroline Hester, Mariah Richards. Mara Fortino out there as well. That one launched from midfield all the way to Leach. Didn't even get an opportunity really to set any kind of offense. It was just a quick hit. But Leach right there with the grab. Also on the pitch, Chloe Brown for the Crusaders. Morgan Austin on the far sideline. And so I believe a foul being called against Capital. Thomas More, 3-0 here as we enter the second half. Free kick being taken by Abby Osborne on the near sideline. Mara Fortino, the lone defender, standing in front. This one launched toward Leach. She comes out to challenge. Tipped by number 4, Caroline Hester. Leach was out of position, and that one will go down as the 4th Thomas More goal. I believe it was Eccles on the tip-in. She didn't have to do much, just got a head on it. Leach came out of net to challenge, and her and Hester were not on the same page. Hester thought she was helping out her keeper by trying to punch it out, but ended up pushing it back toward the goal further, and Eccles finished the job. So just a minute and a couple ticks in, and Thomas More has increased their lead to 4-0. Capital now, a larger hole to dig themselves out of. You never know in a sporting event what could possibly happen. Monique Kanaik tries to challenge, and I believe that the Saints' Abby Osborne thought that she was actually fouled, and instead they're going to say that it went off Osborne, and now they're going to give a corner to the Crusaders. Mara Fortino back on the near side corner to take this attempt. Could be the first real offensive opportunity for the Crusaders today. This one up into the air. Cartmill gets a head on it, and this one headed back out by Felix. Richards trying to keep it alive. They're going to bring the defenseman forward. This one played up by Mervaux, and now the Saints push it forward. Bushy intercepts, brings it back up. Fortino looking for Bushy. Her and Cartmill are both in the same vicinity, but neither one of them come up with it. That one blasted out of play by Osborne. It'll be Capital ball. Bushy with the throw-in. Mervaux punches this one out into the corner, and this will go back to the Saints. Trying to find a word that can potentially characterize the play of Capital today without being too harsh, and it's not a lack of effort. You can see that they're really trying to move the ball, and they especially have come out with a little bit of fire here in the second half. Fortino puts a shot on, far corner, just a little bit high and wide. It looked good up until it cleared the crossbar. Looked like it was going to fit itself underneath, and it flew just a little bit high. So just as we're trying to find a term to characterize their play, it seems like that they have amped it up just a little bit. And two of the goals today really have been on miscues and miscommunication there on the back line, and actually both of them involving Caroline Hester. The first one when she played it back to Alexis Brand with the defender bearing down on her, or rather a forward bearing down on her, and then the clear attempt to try to get it out of trouble ricocheted right into the back of the net. And then this first goal of the second half is this one put on to the near side post. That one taken by Huber. Would have been wide of the net anyway, but Leach grabs it and corrals it. But the first goal of this second half, another piece of miscommunication by Hester, and this time with the current goalkeeper, Kim Leach. And that one led to the 4th goal of the game, and this one a foul on the Saints. I believe that one will go up against Jordan Wiest, who bodied up against, I believe that was Chloe Brown. 2 pretty plays in the middle of the field there with a lot of contact that you probably could have whistled. Bushy to Fortino. They're going to try to push it up once again. The offense has been looking a little bit better here in the second half. As we mentioned, a very stout Saints defense that allowed only 1 shot attempt through the first 45 minutes of this contest. This one punched out, I believe, by Osborne back up to midfield. Morgan Austin on the far side with the throw-in, trying to turn it upfield to Brown. Brown was challenged. I believe that was Wiest on the far side. These old eyes aren't getting any better with age. So they're going to put a Crusader in the corner there. And that is Monique Hanaik in the far side, lining up this corner kick attempt, their 2nd of the second half. This one launched up. Lots of contact in the middle there. Morgan Austin was trying to go up for it. This one corralled by Mariah Richards. Mervaux now tosses it in. I believe that one was deflected before the Saints actually got a piece of it. This one off of our referee. Mervaux recollects, launches one off the right foot, wide of the cage. Barton comes out, grabs it, and now is going to boot this one forward. Bushy plays it on the end line. This one goes off of Kate Owens of Thomas More, granting them the throw-in. Bushy to Fortino off of her foot and out of play. Here come the Saints. Huber's toss to Eccles. She speeds forward, challenged by Hester. Hester with a nice screen to induce a goal kick. Now Leach will boot it forward. This one played up to Austin. Austin's pass intercepted by Lauren Rose. The Saints put it back in play. They hold a 4-0 advantage. As this one played forward, and the Saints challenge that one. Huber up front, taking on Leach. Leach will now bring it back up to the top of the goal box, pushes it forward. And they're going to whistle this one, give it back to Leach. Apparently we weren't set and ready to go. Perhaps a better choice now is Leach, I believe this time, is going to bomb it forward. She does, up to the middle of the field to Connor. Connor plays it forward this time, again intercepted by the Saints. As we mentioned, this zone defense that the Saints are providing, it seems like just any time that the ball finds the foot of a Crusader, immediately challenged, and that one no different as Felix takes down Hanaik. They push it back to the opposite side of the field. Bushy's pass forward, intercepted, cleared out by Osborne. They're going to have to recollect and do it all over again. Leach's pass is intercepted, and Huber puts a boot on it. She tried to catch the keeper out of position once again as she was retreating back to her spot. That one wide left, however. A dangerous play. The Crusaders today, big risk takers back at the top of the 18. It's already burnt them twice, as we mentioned. Alexis Brand tried to play it forward and clear it out of the box, and it ricocheted off of Huber's knee into the goal. And here to open the second half, Kim Leach came out to challenge a a ball, which wasn't necessarily a bad decision, but between her and Caroline Hester, one of them had to stay back, and both of them played it forward. The header off of Hester ended up giving Eccles a prime opportunity to score the Saints' 4th goal. One thing that you cannot say about the Crusaders today is that they have not given up. They still show fight as if this was a 1-goal or tied-up ball game. Their play does not show any signs that this is a 4-0 affair. The Saints intercept once again. Here comes Eccles. She played it into the far side corner. Nobody there, however. Leach comes out. And Leach looking a little slow out of the gate here. But that happens. I mean, nobody wants, and it doesn't even matter what sport it is, whether it be hockey or lacrosse or soccer. I mean, no goalkeeper wants to play a half or a period. They want to play the whole game. They want to get into a good flow, not come in cold. Certainly no exception here. Certainly a tough scenario that any goalkeeper finds himself in once they come off the bench in any scenario. To try to find a flow, begin communicating with your teammates effectively. And certainly in this particular situation, when Kim Leach came in down 3 goals, not only to rally the troops, but to also, get into some kind of a groove herself to improve her own personal play.
Are you excited?
Osborne down on the far side, challenged by Cartmill. She'll find a seam and toss it forward. Kathy Connor screens her defender and tosses it across the pitch. Bushy plays it forward. Brown to Bushy. Capital now mounting a defense, tries to toss it forward for Hanaik, but Barton comes out and quells that opportunity. Now down into the near side corner. Bushy tried to play it forward. They're going to say that it went off of Bushy. They were contesting that perhaps there was some contact by Thomas Moore. However, Kate Owens did not get a foot on it. And so it will be played up by Osborne in the goal box, launching this one forward. Connor with the head on it. Fortino now. Fortino pushed from behind. I believe the guilty party was Thomas Moore's number 21, Erica LaRosa. Fortino trying to play it backward. Capital needs to regroup and find some kind of offensive strategy that works today with this stifling Thomas More defense. The one real attempt there is this one. Monique Hanaik challenged by number 20, Lauren Rose. Hanaik slow to get up. She will recover and get right back into play. Fortino launches one from about 30 yards out. Bounces harmlessly into the hands of Barton. As we mentioned, this defense, they are incredibly physical, they are aggressive, and up until this point have only allowed 2 shots, one of which have fallen on goal. That will be the third. I believe it was Hanaik's shot attempt earlier in the half that flew just wide and high of the top right-hand corner of the cage. That was Capital's lone true scoring chance. This one played out by the back line of Abby Osborne, and on that side is also Rose. There's one launched up, I believe that one by Fortino, but again falls harmlessly to the far side post. Barton comes up with it. Even when Thomas More has allowed a shot attempt, the only true strong one was the one taken by Henike that nearly fell inside of the net. Otherwise, Capital struggling to get a real good boot on the ball there. 4-0 as we head into the 30 minutes remaining in the second half. That one blasted by Eccles. Leach coming out of her position to challenge, scoops it up before anybody else could get a tip on it. Played forward, and now here comes Osborne again. She's been busy. Now here comes Huber. And we called her name a couple of times today. Plays it to the near side corner. Kate Owens launches one inside to the near side post. Leach back out with it. She might have been looking for Eccles there. Leach boots it back up to the 50, played forward. Again, another 50-50 ball that goes the way of the Saints, and a lot of contact down there as Chloe Brown takes a hard fall. This one played up to Henike. She's one-on-one with Osborne. With the left foot, she's challenged by Osborne, this time taken down. Maura Fortino gets a piece of it as she tries to clear it away. It will go the Saints' way as we have a substitution, a couple new bodies on both sides. Claire Quinn coming back into the match, as well as Emily Yoakum will get a chance to play. For the Saints, number 4, Samantha Goodwin to come on. And I believe also Corey Ziegler. Ashley Wiest also out there as well, stepping off, Jordan Wiest was the one that was stepping off here. We dip below 29 minutes remaining, 4-0 your score. You know, we were concerned about what storms were coming through here in the 5 o'clock hour, and to be completely honest with you, I don't think that we may see one until later this evening. The skies are relatively clear, a few gray ones in the vicinity, but we were expecting massive thunderstorms come about 5:15, 5:20. Well, that time has come and passed. And we haven't seen but maybe a few raindrops since kickoff. Incredibly fortunate. I know that the men's team has already postponed their match today as this one played forward. Leach looking to get ready as this one off of the foot of Caitlin Armentrout deep into Capital territory. Another substitution, Allie Wimmers coming in for the Saints. She will replace Huber. So Huber doing a good job today. She gets a couple of goals and now finally gets to take a break. Allie Wimmers back out there, assumes the right wing position. This one played forward. They're going to find Wimmers, but this one intercepted by Bushy. Richards to Mervaux. Bodied up by Ziegler. And this one a hard challenge by Erica LaRosa. No call there, play on. Connor plays it out to Austin. Far side, here comes Eccles to challenge. One thing that has been noticed is that they, and by they I mean the Crusaders, have been unable to really switch fields easily. As mentioned, the Saints have won a majority of the 50-50 balls. Capital challenging when they're putting it on the ground, but when put up into the air, it's been a hard time for Capital to really advance. They switched the field there, but once again, here come the Saints, and that's Laura Felix who intercepts, brings it back out to midfield, and now they'll play a little keep away before Osborne blasts it forward. No one there. Leach to acquire and try to launch it forward. That probably is their best bet at this point, is just to push it forward and hope for a lucky bounce as Bushy moves it forward, but it's pushed back out to Richards. Richard to Bushy to Cartmill. That one booted out of play by Samantha Goodwin. The throw in by Bushy, played forward by Mervaux. Here comes Cartmill. Not quite in time. Solid chance there, but here comes Eccles. Little contact between her and Bushy. Richards goes back to track it down at the 10. And that one played out of play by Bushy. Throw in now by Wimmers is halted for another substitution. Number 5, Nicole Brown, will come on for Eccles. So now the top 2 forwards for the Saints are now on the bench. Nicole Brown takes Eccles' place. Huber was replaced just a few moments ago. In the corner is Wimmers, challenged by Bushy, but this one just out of her reach before she can reacquire possession. They're going to give it to Stadmiller for a Thomas More corner. Just under 25 remaining here in the second half. 4-0 the score. Thomas More on top. Just a reminder, at 7 o'clock tonight, the Capital volleyball team will be in action. This corner nullified by a foul there in the box by Thomas More, but the Crusaders volleyball team, they'll be in action inside of the Cap Center, taking on Denison University at 7 o'clock. Their home opening match against the Big Red. The women's tennis team was scheduled to host Earlham College today. However, with fear of the storms rolling through, they tried to be proactive and postpone those for a later date that has not been named yet. And the more that we go along in this day, it almost seems like that was a little premature, just because it's now 5:30. We were expecting storms to roar through the area, and we have yet to really see anything more than a temporary drizzle. The men's team, they'll play Thomas More tomorrow. They were proactive as well and said that the forecast wasn't looking good for them as the quote-unquote curfew in effect for the usage of the lights. This one played forward looking for Abby Stadmiller, but just a little bit too strong off of the foot of Laura Felix. As you might have heard a few times before, Bernlohr Stadium, well, they have lights now. The lights installed over the summer months. They have been used for a couple of practices already this season. But for games, we have not turned them on yet. We were about to turn them on last week when the women's soccer team was getting ready to host its first home action of the day, and there's a foul called around the 45-yard line. As a card is given to Laura Felix for a hard takedown in the middle of the field. So Felix will be issued a yellow for a dangerous challenge. But getting back to the lights, Capital can use them for a limited amount of games over the course of the season, including one football game. That one will be on September 26th, and if weather keeps on acting as it has, it may be until September 26th when the first official night game is actually played. This one played forward. Bushy with the head on it. She was looking to try to center up. I believe that was Kathy Connor in the middle there, but she couldn't connect, and the Saints challenge, get that one out of there and thwart another Capital scoring opportunity. Substitutions coming on for the Saints is Allie Frank. Stepping off is Connor and Mervaux. Stepping on for Capital is Megan Tolner. And I believe Jennifer Vandeverter. Kathy Connor will remain on out there. Chloe Brown was one of those that came off of the pitch. Jennifer Vandeventer, the junior out of Ronkonkoma, New York, a new addition to the Cap fam. In her first season, she came from Eastern University, where she spent her first 2 years there. Approaching 21 minutes remaining here in the second half, as I either warned you or elated you with the news that at about 6 o'clock I will have to vacate my position here and go prepare for the volleyball match that is happening here in the Cap Center. That may be music to your ears, that produces silence here on the broadcast. Another substitution, Josie Perino will step in for Abby Stadmiller for the Saints. But we also encourage you to engage us through social media, Periscope, Twitter, Instagram. We now have a Capital Athletics only Instagram account. All of those can be found. You can engage us at the handle @CapCrusaders. And we encourage you to do so. We try to get Periscope going to give you the inside access to all of your Crusader events and give you some previews to some of the interviews that we do and publish on the website. It's a cool little tool. I tell you what, Periscope is, when I first got onto it, it killed about 3 hours of my evening because I was just so enthralled. The cool thing is that you can stream from your mobile device, your iPad, your phone, your whatever you're using. And you can turn your phone into a TV camera, so to say, and project whatever message or whatever broadcast you want at any time from anywhere. And to add to that, you can watch anybody that is producing a broadcast from anywhere, as that one is launched off of the foot by Allie Frank. Kim Leach comes up with the save. So I've actually taken the liberty of watching and following a lot of people from the UK. We saw some fantastic musical performances. We've seen some different cultures displayed. You can go and check out the sites of France and Italy, anybody that's periscoping from anywhere in the world. It's an incredible tool that is just making this world smaller and smaller as time progresses, and we encourage you to get on Periscope on either Google Play, download it from Google Play or the iOS store, and engage us at Cap Crusaders. Capital mounting an offensive possession. This one played forward. Barton comes out and makes the snap. They were looking for Becca Cartmill and I believe Kathy Connor there in the middle. Either one of them would have done. Claire Quinn comes out to challenge, one of the most physical defenders or midfielders on this Capital team. She definitely made a statement last year as a sophomore, was quickly a fan favorite as she was, again, just an incredible physical presence both on the back line and the midfield. Again, that athletic that she can flex between both positions. She's kind of playing in the middle right now, trying to get her and the Capital defense to be more aggressive closer to midfield. As Mara Fortino now, she'll take it into the corner, tries to launch it forward, and that one off of the body of Samantha Goodwin. Cap with the throw-in. Bushy turns, creates space, launches it forward, tipped away by the Saints, and now they clear it out back to midfield. Chasing it down is Caroline Hester. They'll give way for the throw-in, played up to Claire Quinn. Quinn kicks it, deflected by the Saints, back out of play. Morgan Austin tracks it down. Now we're approaching 17 minutes remaining. Played forward by Tolner, but the shot wide and hits the side of the cage. Another substitution or two coming for the Saints as soon as they reacquire possession. 16:40 remaining. Corner coming for Capital. This one launched over the cage, not even playable. And now coming back in is Laura Felix and Jordan Wiest. .16 to go, 4-0 the score. Thomas More on top. They last scored to open up the second half on another miscue by Capital. Kim Leach come out to challenge the ball. Caroline Hester thought she was doing her keeper a favor by playing it, and instead it went backwards where Eccles headed it home and created the 4-0 advantage for the Saints. 3 of those goals came in the first half. 2 of them scored by Huber, Olivia Huber, the senior out of Woodlawn, Kentucky. And Capital hasn't had much offense to really speak of thus far. Total of 4 shots, only 1 of them came in the first half. And a foul called on the Saints. Felix, the guilty party. Bushy with the interception there, but again played forward, just launched forward by number 4 Samantha Goodwin. Under 15 here remaining at about the 10-minute mark. As warned, I am going to vacate and clear way to the ambient sounds of Byrne-Lore Stadium, where you can listen to the final 10 minutes without the amateur commentary. This one played into the corner, but Allie Frank can't track it down. We'll be preparing for the Capital volleyball team as they will open up here at home against Denison University, hailing from right up the road in Granville. Felix tries to play it by Richards. Richards gets a piece of it and tosses it back into the corner. They will award the Saints a corner kick. And I do believe taking it will be number 15, Josie Perino. That it is. Perino in the near side corner. This one played off the head of Richards. Capital looking to clear it, can't quite, and now here comes, I believe, Van Deventer, as she is fouled. Actually, that was Emily Yoakum that was grabbed from behind. She had the edge on her defender, and now there goes Yoakum as she takes down, and we're not going to call it retribution, but it certainly would have been well warranted. Caitlin Armentrout was on the other end of that collision. Yoakum in limited time last year. Played in 10 matches as a sophomore. Here comes Leach, puts a boot on it as we dip under 13 minutes remaining now. Quinn switching sides of the field. She's dispossessed. Morgan Austin to screen off the Saints defender, and a lot of body over there. Fends her off nicely. Armentrout goes flying in the other direction. And a big boot just right of the uprights, taken by Perino. Score still 4-0 here at Byrne-Lore Stadium. Thomas More en route to improving to 2-0-1 on the year. And they continue to look for more. They're not satisfied with just 4 goals. They are playing just as hard as the Crusaders. And here comes Mara Fortino. As scrappy as she is, she goes shoulder first into Allie Frank. And they play this one forward. Making a run on it was Kathy Connor, but can't catch up with it. Mariah Richards now trying to get it back into their possession. Felix plays it forward. Now here comes Perino. Mariah Richards depossesses her. Quinn switches fields over to Austin. So as we dip into under 10 minutes remaining here in the second half, our broadcaster for today out of the bullpen is about to say goodbye as he prepares for the volleyball game that is due to begin at 7 o'clock here in the Capitol Center. We encourage you to come out. We encourage you to also find us online. We talked about our social media outlets on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at the handle at Cap Crusaders. You can also find us on Facebook at Capital University Athletics. Give us a like and a follow, and engage us as the year goes along. Capital down 4 goals here, en route to fall to 2 wins and 2 losses on the young season as they go through non-conference play. Thomas More, they are en route to improve to 2-0-1 on the year. Again, go to the website, athletics.capital.edu, and follow us all year long. We thank you for tuning in and apologize for the brevity of the commentary of the broadcast. We wish Jimmy Bloomfield a speedy recovery as he is recovering from being ill today, but we encourage you to come back and follow along all season long. Once again, this is Ryan Gasser signing off, and we're going to allow you to watch the remaining 9 minutes with the ambient sound of women's soccer here at Burnmore Stadium.